The sun had just begun to set over the vast expanse of the Oyo kingdom, casting a warm orange glow over the bustling streets of the capital city. I, Abba, son of the great King Oduduwa, stood atop the walls of the palace gazing out at the endless horizon. My mind was consumed by the weight of my responsibilities, for I was next in line to the throne. As I stood there, lost in thought, I heard the soft rustling of fabric behind me. I turned to see my father's most trusted advisor, the wise and aged Babalawo, approaching me. Abba, my young prince, he said, his voice low and gravelly. The time has come for you to learn the secrets of our great kingdom. Your father has decreed that you shall undergo the trials of manhood, to prove yourself worthy of the throne. I felt a surge of excitement mixed with trepidation at the prospect of the trials. I had heard stories of the challenges that lay ahead, but I was determined to prove myself worthy. The next morning, I set out on the journey to the sacred forest, where the trials would take place. The Babalawo accompanied me, carrying a small bag containing the sacred instruments of the Orishas. As we walked, the Babalawo told me stories of our ancestors, who had braved the unknown to build our great kingdom. He spoke of the gods, who had guided and protected us throughout the ages. I listened intently, soaking up the wisdom and knowledge that flowed from his lips. After several hours of walking, we arrived at the edge of the forest. The air was thick with the scent of blooming flowers and the sounds of birdsong filled the air. The Babalawo led me to a clearing, where a massive tree stood tall, its trunk adorned with intricate carvings. This is the tree of life, the Babalawo said, his voice filled with reverence. Here, you will face the first trial. You must climb the tree and retrieve a leaf from its highest branch. The leaf holds the power of the Orishas, and it will grant you the strength and wisdom you need to complete the trials. I looked up at the tree, my heart racing with excitement. I had always been a skilled climber, but this tree seemed to stretch up to the heavens. I took a deep breath, grasped the trunk, and began to climb. The ascent was grueling, the bark rough against my skin. I encountered many obstacles along the way, from snakes to spiky thorns. But I persevered, using my wits and my strength to overcome each challenge. Finally, I reached the highest branch, where a single leaf glowed with an otherworldly light. I plucked the leaf, feeling its power course through my veins. As I descended the tree, I felt a sense of pride and accomplishment that I had never felt before. The Babalawo awaited me at the base of the tree, a broad smile on his face. Well done, Abba, he said. You have passed the first trial. But the journey is far from over. The next trial awaits you, and it will be even more challenging than the first. And so, I continued on my journey, facing trial after trial. I battled fierce beasts, solved complex puzzles, and demonstrated my wisdom and compassion. With each trial, I grew stronger, wiser, and more confident. Finally, after many days of traveling, I arrived at the final trial. It was the most daunting challenge of all, for I had to face my own fears and doubts. The Babalawo led me to a dark cave where a mirror hung on the wall. Look into the mirror, Abba, the Babalawo said. You will see your greatest fear staring back at you. You must confront it, and emerge victorious. I hesitated, my heart pounding in my chest. But I knew that I had to face my fears, if I was to become the king that my father and our people deserved. I took a deep breath, and looked into the mirror. At first, I saw only my own reflection staring back at me. But as I gazed deeper, I saw a figure emerging from the shadows. It was a mighty warrior, with a fierce expression on his face. He was my greatest fear, the embodiment of all my doubts and uncertainties. I felt a surge of fear, but I stood my ground. I remembered the words of the Babalawo, who had told me that the power of the Orishas was within me. I called upon that power, and felt it coursing through my veins. With newfound confidence, I confronted the warrior in the mirror. We clashed in a fierce battle, our swords ringing out as we fought. But I was not alone, for the power of the Orishas was with me. Slowly but surely,